very words that come out of my mouth, bringing forth a life-giving, life-bringing message that will possibly and potentially pull someone out of a dark place, according to the Almighty Yahuwah. I ask that the Almighty allows a weight to be put on my tongue so that I don't speak that of my own accord, but that of which He designed for this particular message. I also ask that the Almighty covers my throat as well as my heart and my brain and all of my entire vessel as I deliver this message for Him. I ask that the Almighty guides every example, every word, every sentence, every phrase, and that it be taken in the most positive, life-bringing way. 2 Peter's, gratitude, Daddy, as well as put the necessary angels around this message as well. 2 Peter's 2, false teachers and their destruction. But there were also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. They will secretly introduce the destructive hearsays, even denying the sovereign Yahuwah who bought them, bringing swift destruction on themselves. Many will follow their depraved conduct and will bring the way of truth into disrepute. In their greed, these teachers will exploit you with fabricated stories. Their condemnation has long been hanging over them, and their destruction has not been sleeping. For if God, Yahuwah, did not spare angels when they sinned, but sent them to hell, putting them in chains of darkness to be held for judgment. If He did not spare the ancient world when He brought the flood on its ungodly people, but protected Noah, a preacher of righteousness, and 7 others. If He condemned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah by burning them to ashes, and made them an example of what is going to happen to the ungodly. And if He rescued Lot, a righteous man who was distressed by the depraved conduct of the lawless, for that righteous man, living among them day after day, was tormented in his righteous soul by the lawless deeds he saw and heard. If this is so, then the Lord Yahuwah knows how to rescue the godly from trials and to hold the unrighteous for punishment on the day of judgment. This is especially true of those who follow the corrupt desire of the flesh and despise authority. Bold and arrogant, they are not afraid to heap abuse on celestial beings. Yet even angels, although they are stronger and more powerful, do not heap abuse on such beings when bringing judgment on them from Yahuwah. But these people blaspheme in matters they do not understand. They are like unreasoning animals, creatures of instinct. Born only to be caught and destroyed. And like the animals, they too will perish. They will be paid back with harm for the harm they have done. Their idea of pleasure is to carouse in broad daylight. They are blots and blemishes, reveling in their pleasures while they feast with you. With eyes full of adultery, they never stop sinning. They seduce the unstable. They are experts in greed, an accursed brood. They have left the straight way and wandered off to follow the way of Balaam, son of Bezer, who loved the wages of wickedness. But he was rebuked for his wrongdoing by a donkey, an animal without speech, who spoke with a human voice and restrained the prophet's madness. These people are springs without water and mist driven by a storm. Blackest darkness is reserved for them. For they mouth empty, boastful words, and by appealing to the lustful desires of the flesh, they entice people who are just escaping from those who live in error. They promise them freedom, while they themselves are slaves of depravity. I'm instructed to say, look that word up. For people are slaves to whatever has mastered them. If they have escaped the corruption of the world by knowing our Yahuwah and Savior, Yahushua, and are again entangled in it and are overcome, they are worse off at the end than they were at the beginning. It would have been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than to have known it and then to turn their backs on the scared. Daddy says say it that way. It says sacred, but you said read it again. It would have been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than to have known it and then to turn their backs on the sacred command that was passed on to them. Of them the proverbs are true. A dog returns to its vomit, and a sow that is washed returns to her wallowing in the mud. 2 Peter 2:4, Greek Tartarus. 2 Peter 2:4, some manuscripts in gloomy dungeons. 2 Peter 2:10, in context like this, the Greek word of flesh, sarx, refers to the sinful state of human beings, often presented as a power in opposition to the Spirit, also in 2 Peter 2:18. 2 Peter 2:11, many manuscripts being in the presence of. 2 Peter 2:13, some manuscripts in their love feast. Look that up. Look up love feast. 2 Peter 2:13, according to the Almighty Yahweh. 2 Peter 2:15, Greek bosar. 2 Peter 2:22, Proverbs 26:11. And with that being said, I'm guided to end this. Have a grand evening, grand rising, grand afternoon, and may you get your hearts truly back to the Almighty Yahweh and allow Him to guide your very steps. I love you.